Welcome back, guys. This is Berthelots Can Cook. Today we're going to be making Mom's homemade chicken pot pie, literally. So I spared you the part where I made the dough, which I have cooling in the fridge right now. I actually made it yesterday because it's good for it to cool, because when you're manipulating it, if it's not cold, it can get very sticky, it can break apart, and just an overall mess. So I had yesterday used the recipe which I'm going to be showing you now. This is the recipe for the pastry that I used, and it's really important to use cold water as it states.
Very important.
And back to what we're going to be making for the inside of the chicken pot pie. So we're using 2 chicken breasts, which we're going to cut up and cube. And then in mine, it's kind of one of those situations where you want to make something fast. It's already 5 o'clock right now, guys, because I went for a walk. So I tried to look around for peas. You could use frozen peas. I don't have that or canned, so I'm going to be substituting with corn, which I love. The crunchiness, you know. A potato, just cut up a potato into small pieces, about a cup of carrots, 1 celery stalk chopped, and a small yellow onion. There is a way to make the innards with broth, chicken broth, as well as a bit of milk. In this case, I'm going to use cream of chicken soup, because I think it's going to save me quite a lot of time, because I kind of overshot the runway, and now I'm going to be scrambling a little, which is more like a real life situation of what it's like when I come home from work and I need to cook something. So I'm going to be chopping things, and you don't need to see that. And once I'm done, I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So here are the cut up potatoes, and even though I'm going to be frying them in the pan, I like to put them in the microwave for about a minute at least, because potatoes can never be cooked too much unless they're burnt. So here I have all my ingredients. I always loved on cooking shows where they put them in these little containers. So I have my potatoes, carrots, and I have my onions and celery mixed up. And this, one of the reasons I'm cooking this tonight is because I only found 2 chicken breasts, which is not enough for 4 people. So we're going to be using that. So now I'm going to be lighting my burners. Oops. I'm again using the wrong lighter. This is the one drawback to gas stoves. Come on. Okay. Okay, and I'm also going to light the front one at the same time, because I'm going to cook my chicken on the back burner, and I'm going to put my vegetables in the front burner just to save a little bit of time. So once again, I'm using extra virgin olive oil, just a dash in there. And I'm going to be reminding everyone that the oven temperature should be at 425. And this pie is going to cook for about 30 to 35 minutes. I think it's a different way to cook chicken, because right now my kids are getting really sick of chicken because we have it so often. So in here, I'm going to be first putting in the onions and celery. Okay. We want them to be cooked until they're clear. I'm going to be adding in some salt and pepper. And then on the back burner, I'm going to be putting in my chicken. It's cut quite small. And I'll come back to you in a few minutes when things have a chance to cook a little. I'm going to be adding salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic in both of these pans. I'm not going to get paid to say this, but I really like Herbamare. It's the herb sea salt, and even though I do usually use the sea salt with the grind, I also love this one. My sister introduced me to this. We used to do the cooking shows together. Unfortunately, we're all not in the same place right now. We all have to stay in our own houses. But she introduced me to this, and I'm a huge, huge fan. It's sea salt, but it also has like organic herbs and vegetables, so it has a nice little flavor to it. So now I'm going to add my carrots and potatoes. Like I said, the potatoes went in the microwave, so they've already gotten pre-started. And my carrots. So already you can see pretty colorful mix. I'm not going to put all the corn in, but I'm going to add some of the corn in, maybe half a can. And I'm not using any exact measurements. This pan is quite close to what my pie plate size is going to be, so I can kind of get a general idea of, you know, how much I'm making. This looks like it might be a bit too much, but that's okay. And then my chicken is almost ready, and once it's ready, I'm going to be adding it into my vegetables with a can of condensed cream of chicken. Okay, if it's too thick, I can add a tiny bit of milk in with it, but at this point, I think we know that the worst thing a pie can be is runny, which I don't want. So I'm going to be doing this and finishing it up. Once I have everything in here, I'm probably going to let it simmer and thicken until I can start working on the dough, and it's going to cool a bit before I put it into the pie. So as we can see, ow, I keep burning myself. Where's my oven mitt? Okay. As we can see, we're adding our chicken in with our mix, and I can see it's not too dry. It looks like it's just the right amount of liquidy. There it is. So we're gonna let it sit in the pan, and once again, it's gonna be in the oven for another 35 minutes once it's in the dough, so we don't have to worry too much.
Are you available?
I told you, I'm making a video. Sorry about the interruption. I'm gonna continue now with what I was doing, and these are my 2 dough balls that I made earlier. And actually there should be enough in here to get another shell, which I'm gonna use to make a quiche. So I have a great counter. Aren't I lucky? I have a great counter, but I do for dough products because it is granite. So I'm gonna be cooking or rolling the dough out right here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of flour, a little bit in the pie plate itself, as well as a bit on the countertop. And then I'm gonna take, oh, oven's ready. Too bad I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to be taking my dough out. It's kind of hard. Probably should have taken it out of the fridge a little bit earlier. Oh man, it's really hard. Okay, just let me work with it a bit. It's, oh my God. It's coming apart. I don't know what to happen. It's not gonna possibly. Okay, things have gone a little awry. Makes the video funner, but it doesn't make it more fun, or funnier I was trying to say, but it doesn't necessarily make the dinner better, okay? So what I've done is I've mixed it with some water and re-kneaded it because obviously it was a bit too dry, which I should have known yesterday because when I was making and working with it, it was crumbling a bit. But anyway, this isn't going to be the best dough I've ever made. It might also be because I ended up having the recipe, so I put the recipe in half. I will tell you another trick that you can do if you don't want to make dough, okay? So you make the same innard of the pie like I just did in the frying pan, but then on top of it you mix Bisquick. And with that Bisquick mix, once you have it in a pan, you're gonna pour the Bisquick on top of the chicken pot insides, and it makes like a breaded exterior to it, which is quite good. Like I'm saying now, It is 5:42 and I didn't put the pie in the oven yet, but it's fine. Guys, it's fine. I mean, the fact is, whatever I serve, they're gonna eat it. I was hoping it would look a bit better. So now I'm going to take my pie plate and I'm going to try to lift this up, even if it's not perfect. And I'm going to lay it in there. It's not horrible. Well, I mean, it actually is the definition of horrible, but oh my God, you know? Not getting any beauty prizes on this one. It's falling apart, as you can see. At the same time, I think there's enough here that I can make a decent shell where the bottom isn't going to be covered in food. The only problem is, like, I want to make sure I think I might try this one more time and then show you the result, because if it's too thick in certain places, it's not going to cook evenly. So I'm just going to try one more time. Okay, so I've made it into something decent enough to hold the pie. Yeah. Now I'm going to pour the inside into it. Frankly, that part looks great. Okay. That looks like the right amount. Looks like a normal pie. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to roll out the top and place the top. Okay, so the top piece, much better, probably because it had time to warm up and not straight out of the fridge. So we're going to try to lay it on top here. If I can pry it off of the counter. This has been interesting, to say the least. Okay, so we're going to pull her up. Lay it there. Oh, you can't see. Sorry. Okay. So, as they say, I mean, it's not gonna look perfect, but it's gonna taste the same going in. So, we're going to be trimming the edge here, pressing it down, and then coating it with a little bit of egg before we put it in the oven. And we're gonna make sure we put it on the bottom rack of the oven so that the bottom cooks thoroughly. Thanks, Mom. Could look better, could look worse. Just came out of the oven. Could be worse. Looks good. So I'm gonna allow that to cool for a bit as I get the salad prepared, but you don't need to stick around for that. Thanks for joining me on Berthelots Can Cook.